What up, my Glipglops? A little Rick and Morty humor for anyone who enjoys that show. What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back. Today's video, I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone, as they say. A lot of you are asking for an updated look at my collection, and I'm getting some questions about capacity. So let's get both those questions solved. So I'm actually gonna maneuver some of the stuff around here tonight. So I'm going to do this video technically in two parts. I'm going to show you what I've got going on now, and I'm going to maneuver stuff and show you what it looks like afterward. First off, capacity. This is the top middle shelf, which is a DF120. And again, right below it is another DF120. And you can see that this top shelf, I've actually spaced these figures out to the point where they can, what I call, breathe. It's easy to kind of see them individually, especially from a distance. Very easy to pick out what I got going on there. And then when you get down to this one here, they're a little bit more crammed together, especially in this area here. And to me, it makes a big difference when you don't put too many figures on the one shelf. I feel you can appreciate them more as individual figures, as opposed to now they've just kind of like grouped together, and sometimes they're kind of getting lost in between one another. So when we look at this one here, the top one, I'm only focusing right now at the DF, which is just the middle one. I'm not focusing on the two end pieces, which are the 60s. So for this DF here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 figures. And then we've got like a couple of the guys that are on the bottom there. I think they're Outriders or Outback Riders, they call them. One question someone was asking me, like, how well can the Thanos fit in this? Well, that is the in-game Thanos, and he is quite the tall figure. And Thanos is right there. That is a 5-inch acrylic riser. So boosting him up an additional 5 inches on his display stand, and he's still got a fair bit of headroom there. So that was a question I actually remembered someone asked not long ago, so hopefully that clears some stuff up for you. So 14 figures in that top one, and nice and spaced out. You can definitely see there's some breathing room there. Middle one, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 figures, and it's worth kind of taking into account that we've got like the Iron Spider there. He's taking up a bit more room with his tentacles. Same thing, Doc Ock tentacles. You know, a dynamic pose there for the Scarlet Spider. So these are, you know, they're taking up more room because of the poses I have them in. So that's worth noting as well. The only one really taking up that kind of space maybe is Falcon, but I can't even really say he's taking up that much space. I mean, his wings, I could tuck them behind Thanos there if I really wanted to. So the difference between the top one here and the bottom is 3 figures. But just looking at them just like this by themselves, you can tell there's a lot more room. It just looks more appealing to me personally from the for the top one, just because you can appreciate each figure individually. They're not crammed up against each other. Now you can be strategic when you're dealing with capacity, when you're trying to, you know, get as many figures in there without not looking so crammed. It's one of the reasons I love Moducase. At any point in time, I can buy the same display case. I can buy a couple of 60s, and I can just attach them to the end of this. And as my collection grows, the display case grows. So again, nice and spaced out up there. And then we come down here. This is definitely a little bit more crammed. We've got a fair bit of figures in there. I'm going to rise up, actually, the back figures there, because there's enough room to do that. I'm going to use one of Moducase's figure stands, which is essentially what I've done in this one here. So the Chitauri Soldiers, Red Skull, and Loki, they are on the, I think that's what he's classified, the 4-inch riser for the figure stand. You can kind of see it there in the background that Moducase makes. So I'm going to grab one of those. And I could easily take a 3-inch riser and put Loki on that, and he still wouldn't hit the top of that shelf, which I actually still might do. So, Walking Dead figures. 3 zeros. So we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 figures in a DF60. And not so many figures here on the bottom. I'm going to readjust some of these, but as you can see, not a whole lot there, but they are nice and spaced out. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 figures. All right, so that is capacity, guys. And again, it makes a huge difference just by taking, if I took 3 figures out of that and just space these out a little bit differently, then you'd have this kind of space. So what I'm gonna do is take a whole bunch of these things out, gonna rearrange some stuff. And another question I've been getting, can you put anything on top of your Moducase? Yes, you can. I went to Home Depot for 11 Canadian dollars plus tax, and I bought one. This was a very long board. So I bought this board. I made 2 cuts. Essentially one cut to pretty much almost cut it in half, and then there was a little bit left over, maybe like an inch and a bit. And I placed these on top. I'm just going to slide this out of the way. So nothing's going to rest on the board itself on top of Moducase. So we got support from this rail, the middle rail, and then the end rail. All I did was just measure it, cut that right to it. And now that support is going to be unreal. We can put some heavy stuff on that if we really wanted to, get some statues on there and whatnot. So I'm going to remove some of my helmets and put them on top, I believe. And I'm going to use the space that I have in this one that's not, obviously it's very under capacity. I got a lot of space there. And I got a fair bit of space available over here in this 6th Series one. So I'm going to take some stuff out, maneuver them around, and let's see what we come up with. All right, after a couple of days, I've rearranged a couple of things, and this is pretty much what I've settled on. For the most part, it's going to stay this way until I receive all of my new figures that I've pre-ordered. I always have a game plan. I know what's coming, so I'm more or less just thinking what's going to go where when it arrives. And I'm pretty much going to start swapping out some of the Infinity War figures, like I've already done, for the Endgame figures, and I'll just rearrange where the Infinity War figures will go. So my plan is to keep this top section to be mostly Endgame and a little bit of Infinity War, especially when you got, you know, the Infinity War Groot and the Hulkbuster and whatnot. So I've done some rearranging. You guys have a look. Just adjusted some risers. I'm still working on this section here. I'm gonna do a little bit more with that one, I believe. Eventually, I'm going to get the 6-scale wall combination, and that will go on the opposite side of my basement, and then I'm gonna really do some nice posing. So for now, this is acting as just a little bit of Iron Man, Spider-Man, until I get that other side cabinet. Then I'm gonna do one full DF-120 of nothing but Iron Man, which I've kind of started here on the bottom. Got like a little workshop kind of thing going on there. We got a few Hall of Armors. We got the original Mark II Unleashed dummy kind of working on them. Pepper Potts kind of coming in there. Ultron Mark I kind of sneaking up behind Pepper. And then I don't have a lot of DC characters, but I've always loved Batman and Superman, Joker, so I had to get a couple of those guys. So this is essentially what my collection looks like at the moment on the DF series on this wall cabinet. On this wall, sorry. Once I get, again, the new combination, I will start to rearrange some stuff. And all these guys that are over here in this display will be moved. So, over here, and a couple of my DF-120s, I've kind of just started like a Spider-Man video game figure kind of thing. Most of the video game Spider-Mans. And I don't know, the Venom Pool was helping me from the video game as well. Down the bottom, I got my masks, helmets, statues, 1-to-1 scale figures. On the top there, now I got my EFX Shield, EFX Mjolnir, and the Tor Studios Thor's Gladiator helmet. And then in the only 1/6 scale or 6 series cabinet that I have, I've got all these, I don't want to say miscellaneous figures, but these aren't Marvel or DC, so I kind of made a home for these guys over here for the time being. I had no idea so many people were seeking the 3-0 Breaking Bad 2-pack. That's become quite popular. And apparently someone told me the Ada Wong has been very popular and hard to find as well. I love Resident Evil. I grew up watching them. And then I got a few custom cabinets, as you guys have seen before, which this one probably won't get moved because of the cabinet that I have it on there. So I probably won't do much with that cabinet there. But this cabinet here will go. And I will move all my Transformers into the cabinet that all the Iron Man figures are in behind the door there. And I will probably bring these DF-120s to work to display some stuff there, or I will sell them if need be. But this whole wall that we're seeing here right now, this will all be the 1/6 scale of the 1/6 series wall combination. And I'll put my Transformers in this cabinet here. I will take all these Iron Man figures, bring them on over here into this, and I'll just maneuver some stuff around. But this is what the collection looks like for now, fellas. I had someone ask me a question. I'm going to help you answer now. He's wondering about how sharp are the edges of these cabinets, mainly for the sake of children. Totally understand. I got kids myself. Once these are assembled, not much of an issue. I mean, this is a little sharp, but other than that, no. The risk of cutting yourself with this is when you're assembling it, just because the rail is a little sharp is all. But no, other than that, like, it's pretty smooth all the way around, so you're not going to have much of an issue. I mean, this lip here is not sharp at all. It's just the corners, and even that's like I'm pressing pretty hard there. And yeah, no, that's nothing to worry about. It's just more or less when you're assembling it. I had another person ask questions about power units and what ones to get. Moducase is going to give you the power units that you need. The power units that I have for this DF series are right here. 2 of these guys. And that is powering 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 12 LED strips. And that's what those 2 units are doing. If you get smaller units or not as many lights, then they will give you a smaller power unit. So if you guys get any questions, go ahead and comment. I'm sure most of you noticed that I answer you guys pretty quickly. So let me know if there is anything you guys want to know. Oh, I didn't really show this cabinet, but I got a couple of the NECA quarter scale turtles, couple of, I don't really collect the Hot Toys, I guess, pop figures, but I've always loved zombies. When you mix zombies and Marvel together, which that's what I got a half sleeve tattooed on me with Marvel and zombies, so yeah, I had to pick these up. A good buddy of mine, you guys know him as Budget Stark, he helped me out and sent me these a while back. Much appreciated to him for that. Alright guys, happy collecting.